空気が揺れる。いつの方、霹靂一閃、6連。消えた。
What's up, collectors? P-Rock's Little back again, your friendly neighborhood anime collector. And today we're taking a looking at the Aniplex Demon Slayer Zenitsu figure. This is a 1/12 scale figure, and this is the third of the trio that they released so far from the main characters. You have Nezuko, Tanjiro. So this is the third one. And like I said before in the past, this is between the three characters, this is my least favorite. But after I did the last review of the Figma version, I came to find out that actually a lot of people really do like this character. This is the favorite character of a bunch of people so far from what I heard from replies and comments from people from my Figma review. And that surprised the crap out of me. But hey, to each their own, you know, everybody can't like the same character because then we'll all be boring and the same. So hey, more power to the fans of this character right here. But I'm super excited to get this guy out because the Aniplex ones to me are more dynamically posing. So can't wait to get him posed up with Tanjiro and Nezuko from the same line. So let's get this review started. Dale. Let's take a look at the figure inside the box before we get him out. So on the front here, you got the BUZZmod logo there. Cool picture of the character there. Am I saying his name right? Zenitsu? I don't know. I'm sorry. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. You got the Demon Slayer logo on the back. You got a bunch of different poses you can have him with. That freaking crying face. Oh, this guy. All the information there. More Demon Slayer, BUZZmod there. Demon Slayer. All right. Let's get him out the box. Now there's Zenitsu laid out with all his accessories and everything that came in the package. And upon opening some things, I was surprised with some things more than the others. So let's take a look. So at first, let's see if the character looks, to see if he looks identical to what you see in the anime. And I do gotta say he does. You know, he's annoying, but let me just stop riffing on this guy. Like I said, he's cool, man. He's cool when he does like little passes out stuff. Hair looks kind of funky. Oh, it's actually movable. All right, so that's good to know. I was wondering, I don't remember his hair being to one side. Got the nice little logo there painted on there. Got a nice sheet there. As you can see, nice little colors down here. And one thing that you can see, they all have those weird, funky shoulder joints, which can be a pain, but they're good. The fact that you put the jacket and covers them is good to go, because you won't see those things. You won't see these as you pose it here. As you can see, that was kind of weird from underneath and from the top. But you won't see that once you have the robe on. But let's go look at the articulation right now. So as you can see already, the hair does articulate in the back. So you could kind of have it moving this way with the hair kind of going that way. So that's pretty cool. Something different there. It could move 360. You can look that far down. He can look this far up. The arms can go pretty far up. You just got to adjust them a little bit. Kind of watch out. See, as you can adjust that right there. Then bring him up and he can do a high T-pose. You don't get double jointed elbows, but you get a decent enough bend. And there we go right here. And let me just see something real quick right there. Let's see something. We can do that. Yep. And all right, so you bring the arms down. You don't get any bicep swivel, but you do get some swivel at the elbow, as you can see right here. You get swivel somewhat at the shoulder. Let's see if you bring this up. No, not really. So yeah, these shoulder joints are a little funky, but you can get them done because they can get pretty good poses. All right, so let's see how far the arms can move forward. See, the only thing is, like, when I move these forward, they always feel some kind of resistance. So I always get nervous that something's gonna break off, but it doesn't. But as you can see, I don't know, it feels funky. Like I feel like I have pressure, like something's like, I don't know, I'm going against the grain or something. But arms can move pretty good. Got the arms there. Wrists do move. And you get inward. Waist, you get 1 point of articulation there, and then you get another one at the bottom. So you get 2 points of articulation at the lower abs and then below the chest. So he does get good posing sideways. He can bend his back about that much, which is awesome. He can bend forward to do the ab crunch about that far, which is very good. Splits, he can do a split even with the baggy pants robes. You could get a split done there. The legs do go pretty far out, so you could go a sideways split too. You do get bent at the knees, and this is one thing I admit that they do better than Figma. They hide the joints better. So you do get a single bend at the knee. The toes can go down about that far. They can go up about that far. And then you do get toe bend also. So you do get an additional bend there. So that's some good articulation. You get some articulation. You can twist it at the top of the shin. And you get it, of course, at the ankle. Okay, so we got that pose right there. So there you go. So other than these funky shoulders, this guy looks cool. He has good articulation, good range of posing. All right, so put him down. Look at his face sculpts. So this is a face sculpt more than likely I will never use because I already have my Figma displayed like in this crying form. And this is the form that annoys me the most with this character. I do like the way they did the tongue. As you can see there, the tongue is actually sticking out. So I do like the way they did the tongue and the mouth there. This is the face sculpt more than likely that I will use for him. So this is when he's cool, when he's badass, when his eyes, he passes out, and he just lets his body take control. So definitely be using this one in my final pose. And this is one of the worried faces. Definitely will not be using this in any of my final poses. Well, my final pose when I have my display. Like I said, this is going to be more a dynamic pose one. And then you do get this swappable bangs, the hair sculpt. This is the one that has the bird on top. Which I'm trying to remember what the bird thing is. I'm trying to recall. It's been a while. I gotta rewatch the series because I need to watch season 2. All right, so we get that. Now this is something different. These are like folding legs. So basically, you would do is pull his legs out here, which I haven't seen the instructions yet. But basically, you pull. You can see the peg in there, the hole. You pull the legs out and you attach these legs, so that way you can have him kind of like he's sitting and praying. And that's what this pillow's for right here. I thought this was actually a soft good, but it's actually like a plastic, hard plastic. And basically, what that way it works is basically his feet will go in, as you can see the indentation there. His feet will go just like that. And then basically you can have him on there as if he's sitting on the throne or something. Let me just see something real quick. Is that too bright? Yeah, maybe too bright. All right, sorry about that. I was trying to adjust my brightness. So that's what this is pretty cool. I probably won't be using this as I kind of want to have mine in a dynamic pose, but it's a cool feature, good thing to have. All right, so then you get the 2 swords. You get the sword outside the sheath, so you get to see the little nice, beautiful paint on here. Look at that. You get it's all plastic, but you get that silver shine on the bottom portion of the blade. Then you get the black with the lightning going through it. His sword is like one of the coolest swords in the show. And then you get the sheath version, which basically this will go on his belt just like that. Slide it right into there. You get the sheath version. Now, one cool thing about the sheath version is you could take this piece off. And this is a piece that you would add on here to have the lightning effect, like when he's basically about to pull the sword out, when his eyes are closed, when he's passed out and he gets into his badass mode. This is what you would use right there. So that's a cool feature too. Let's go ahead and take this off real quick. I just want to make sure I put things back where they belong. All right, so we got that. We got that. And we looked at that. Let's look at the robe. Robe is soft good. There is wire on this portion right here coming from, actually the collar. From the collar going all the way across the front, all the way down to here, and all the way around. Basically, the whole outline of the robe, except for the sleeves. Feels good. I like the color on it. Orange and yellow and white. Then you get the 2 lightning effects. This is more for his legs. These are pretty cool. I kind of wish he came with more lightning effects, like just a little bit more. Some you could put on his arms maybe, but he doesn't. And then you get the different hands. You get the 2 pointing hands. And then you get 2 weapon sword hands. And then you get 2 closed fist hands. Or as I say, the dap hands. And then last but not least, you get 2 open hands. These kind of resemble like the SH figure or Dragon Ball figure. That's what it looks like to me. Like a Goku hand. Ah! All right. So there we go. Take a look at everything on here. I'll just show you real quick how to replace the face. You take the bang off this way. There we go. And then you just pull the face off just like that. And then if you want to swap it out, basically just peg it into there. And then you put the hair back on. So that's how you swap out the hair and the face. Simple, easy peasy. And that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and get him ready for a size comparison. We have Zenitsu in a default pose. So let's go ahead and bring in some figures for size comparison. Of course, let's go ahead and bring in his Figma counterpart. And this is the same figure, same character, just a Figma version. As you can see, there is a height difference, and I noticed that before with the other figures. I did notice that the Aniplex ones were a little bit more leaner and taller compared to the Figma ones, which were a little bit more like shorter and rounded out a little bit more. So here's, you can see a good difference there. Don't forget the Aniplex one does not have the robe on yet. So let's go ahead and bring in another smaller figure. This is going to be SH Figure Arts Kid Gohan. Want to keep it with the blonde hair. As you can see there. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in one more, or actually another figure. Let's bring in Damasco Captain America. We have Cap. And last but not least, let's go ahead and bring in SH Monster Arts Godzilla vs. Kong. And that's going to be the boy right there. So there we go. It's a good size comparison with different lines. You have Aniplex, Figma, SH Figure Arts, SH Monster Arts, and Mezco. All, well, SH Monster Arts, not really, but all the other ones are 1/12 scale. Well, Figma, like I said, they're a little bit different too. I don't know. They're just different companies, but we're on the same size. All right, so let's go ahead and get the final thoughts and final poses. I didn't want to do too much of a dynamic pose with him because if you watch the anime, most of his dynamic posing is when he basically has his eyes closed when he's passed out. Once in a while, you do see him kind of like try to bring his sword out to try to maybe, try to get a battle going on or something. But normally he's just too scared to do it. So I wanted to get some kind of pose just to have the sword showing and kind of show a little bit of the wiring on the robe. So I figured this was a decent pose right here, just to have some of the sword out the sheath and then the robe showing also with the wiring effects there. So when I was messing around with him, this is not it's not a negative or a plus. It's kind of like, like a little in between type thing. But basically, this guy is so poseable that when I was trying to mess with him, just to get this little simple pose right here, like anytime I try to adjust his arm and his shoulder, like his ab crunch will move. So basically, he has so much posability that when you try to mess around and get a final pose set up, if you move one little thing, basically some other parts of the body, some other articulation points move also. So it is a little, a little tedious work to get him posed right perfectly, but it could just be me making a mistake. I don't know, like I said. but that's not a negative because I prefer more posability. So it's a good thing in my eyes. So when I want to give him in the next pose, when I do the final pose, that's more likely gonna be the pose I'm gonna keep him in for my display for the foregone future. I'll move him around once I get more of the actual characters that are coming out next. But I'm happy with the 3 so far. He's a cool character so far. No problems at all with the articulation, and like I said, replacing parts, so no issues there. You do see that little seam right there on the hair portion right there. Maybe I didn't push it in all the way. It's not completely flush, but you do see that seam line there on the side of the head with the hair where you take the bangs off. The hand pegs with these figures are kind of a little pain in the butt where the pegs are so small where they easily go into the hands, which is a good thing because you can easily swap them out. But when you're trying to get certain poses, you're trying to bend that wrist, sometimes the hands do come out the peg because it's like a flush insert. Other than that, trying to think any other issues I had with them, just the posability, like trying to get them posed up, moving around too much. Other than that, but like I said, that's a bonus because with that posability, it gives me the option to get poses like I want to do coming up next, where he's mostly known for, and basically have him ready for action with his teammates. Right about. I love the poses you can get on the Aniplex figures compared to the Figma ones. The Figma ones you could get good posing, but the joints are always showing. With these, the joints are well hidden with the soft goods, and the knees on the joints right there are not a problem at all. To put the inserts in the little electricity inserts on his feet, I did not know. I had to read the instructions real quick. You actually have to pull the feet off and then slide that into the ankle peg, and then slide the feet back into the peg. So that's how it doesn't just slip right on. You have to actually pull the legs off in order to have them attached there. And just make sure you look at the instructions because they are particular to each foot. So just make sure you look at the instructions. Shows one, and it shows like the designed outline of it, so you can kind of get a hint of which goes on which ankle. But they look amazing. I kind of wish that they were a little more profound or kind of like blasting out from the side a little bit too. But I do know the reason they're doing like this is because in the anime, basically when he does do it, he usually just freaking boosts and shoots like straight ahead. So the electric effects are kind of going backwards, where he's going to basically charge up to kind of charge at the person at lightning speed. I love the fact that they give us that little accessory piece on the handle of the sword, because that's exactly how it is in the anime. It does charge up before he grabs it. The hand pegs, along with the same thing as Tanjiro, is like they are like, since they slide out easily on my left arm, the wrist peg is not really fully seated in there, but you can't really see it from this angle, and the robe does kind of cover it up. So that's one thing I did have a kind of complaint on this line, is I wish like the wrist pegs will kind of hold the hands in place a little bit better and they wouldn't slide off so easily. But other than that, these guys have awesome articulation. This line in particular has awesome articulation. The effects are, they could be a little bit better. The Figma ones does have pretty cool effects too. So these effects could have been a little bit better. But to me, like the size of the figures and then like the soft goods, and if you do get accessories, is a plus for me. This is a new line to me. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not sure if they're going to stick to just Demon Slayer only. Maybe they'll pick up some other lines of animes that I do enjoy. But I'm enjoying these figures. I'm happy I got them. It's still hard for me to say which one of the two is the most definite or the best purchase between the Figma and the Aniplex ones. I guess to me, it all depends on how you want to display your figure. If you want them to be completely cartoon accurate, anime accurate, and not have like a kind of like be able to pose more of like the comedic fashion, then I'll say probably go with the Figma. If you want the ones that are more like kind of like more dynamic posing and they kind of look a little bit more clean, then I'll say go to Aniplex. I basically had my daughter check out the two. I had both Nezukos next to each other, and I had her compare, look at both of them. And I asked her which one that she thinks, if I had to give her one right now, which one would she take? And she preferred the Aniplex one. So I guess to each their own. If you're a Figma fan, you're probably going to stick to the Figma. But the fact is, we have options, and that's always a good thing. Options are always good things for us collectors. So that way we're not stuck on one line and being forced to buy a figure just because that's the only line from that collection that we want to get. So I like the options. But anyways, people, I hope you like this review. And if you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. Click that bell notification so you can be notified of upcoming reviews and videos on my channel. Once again, thank you for the support. And as always, keep collecting. Be good. Stay safe. Dale.